The good news is that we are going to see, of the top 4 decks, we've seen 3 of these, of course, over the course of the day. And we're going to have a look now at the final one. We're going to be bringing you Krennic Green. This is Krennic ECL, and I'll pull his deck list up, along with the Sabine deck that we keep running into along the way.
Right.
I'll put this over here where you can actually see it. My apologies.
You're good.
There you go.
Perfect.
So, taking a look at this, this is
pretty standard.
This is relatively standard. I think the one thing that stands out to me as I glance over it, maybe 2. The triple vigilance is something that a lot more villain green-blue has gone to lately.
Actually,
leaning a little more to the mill, and only 1 Avenger. A little surprising there, I think.
Yeah, 1 Avenger going for 2 Relentless. I think expecting maybe to see way more control matchups or even more mono yellow Boba.
Possibly.
And then the other thing that now that I looked at it again, only 1 Gideon Hask maybe sees it as a win more card.
Yeah, Gideon's not I've played a build of this deck before. Gideon's not my favorite.
Okay.
Right? Gideon's not my favorite. Now, there isn't a second Avenger in this sideboard. I almost guarantee we'll see that come in. Although, man, he's gonna have his hands full with Sabine Yellow, right? Like that's gonna be tough.
And I'm looking at the main board. I'm trying to think.
Not yet. Give us like 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, that'll work. Looking at the main board to me looks like it's more geared to play into control or mid-range.
Well,
because the devotion in the sideboard is definitely coming in game 2.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Those are all coming in for sure. Now, we've seen Mark a couple of times on stream. Let's take a quick look at his deck as well, his deck list. Again, not something that is terribly surprising, right? I mean, there's a lot of really good stuff in here. A lot of power.
Yeah.
A lot of surprise. He's only got the 1 sneak attack, but I mean 3 surprise strikes.
I think
sneak attack is almost like a win more card.
It is a win more card. So crazy that he got to pull it off in that first match.
Lunacy, really.
Knowing now that it's only a 1 of in the deck, it's like, oh wow, he just had a 1 of, and then also only 2 heroic sacrifices.
Yeah.
So really just seeing those perfect cards line up.
It's going to be curious. I think that initial sideboard is going to be critical for both players, because as I'm looking at Mark's sideboard as well, I'm seeing Wolf. I'm seeing 2 more Spark of Rebellions, which are 100% coming into the main. Mark
not playing any Sparks in the main board.
No, you're right. He didn't even have 1 in there. I thought he had
just
1,
2 in the sideboard, which I get. He's wanting to play it fully aggressive, go for those big aggressive lines
for sure. All right, well let's go ahead. Do me a favor. Go ahead. And
let me go ahead and tell those guys.
Let's get into this here.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. All right, let's peel back the layers here. Nope, I already had it right. So a quick and simple early Sabine and a seasoned short trooper.
Mark having the initiative, winning the roll off, keeping it going into turn 2. Buffing
Wing Leader for Sabine.
Yeah.
Wing Leader, of course, coming in, handing her 2 experience tokens, making her a little large.
ECL.
Going to go ahead and use his ECL for a Death Trooper.
Yeah.
He's going to deal 2 damage to Sabine, and then I have to assume that he's going to he's going to just ambush her and just wipe her out.
Yeah.
Wow. Brilliant play. Very bold usage of ECL, but I think this is somebody, when you look at Andrew, that's definitely somebody then who has played this matchup a lot.
Yeah, and then also just into that aggressive matchup.
Yeah, you just don't pull back.
You don't hesitate. You're not waiting for the aggro player to play something big for you to remove. You just when you have the opportunity to make a good trade,
especially early when you buff, you buff the Sabine and everything. Yeah. Get rid of it.
In the long run, that saves him far more than the 5 damage.
Yep, 100%.
The 5 HP for playing ACL.
Fleet Lieutenant swings in with the Wing Leader for 4 onto Andrew's base. He's going to bring in a System Patrol Craft. Sabine going to ping both bases for 1. Simple reminder, guys, here we're in the top 4. So there's one other match going on in parallel of this. We're obviously not able to cast them as well, but there will be one more match after this.
And that's the Palpatine and
it's Palpatine Invader Echo Base.
That's right.
Palpatine Invader.
That's right.
Sabine comes in and does her thing. It's funny. They talk about like the rock, paper, scissors of this game, right? Mm-hmm. And aggro, an aggro deck like Sabine is quote unquote supposed to be the control deck, is it not?
Correct. But this Krennic deck has kind of been like one of the weird like sleeper submarines of this meta.
I love Krennic.
I do too. He was one of the ones I was very, very excited about, and yes. I thought that's where I was going to put a majority of my time. And I played it in the beginning, but I played it far more control. The what it's kind of shifted into is this kind of more mid-range style deck.
Yes.
With the persistent buff and just trying to, and maybe that's why we only see one Avenger, right? In the
it might be.
It's because it is more of a mid-range
playing.
Deck. You don't want to load the deck with too many late game cards.
Playing it less like a hard control,
right? And just more of like a mid-range and trying to leverage that persistent buff that Krennic hands out as much as you can.
Which is
and playing synergistic cards.
That's the beauty of Krennic, right? His backside is so strong because his front side and his backside say the same thing. So it almost doesn't matter if you deploy him. The reason you deploy him, of course, is to get as maximize that restore 2 as much as you can and heal off some of this early damage that Sabine
an aggressive play where we see the Death Trooper not damaging itself but damaging Krennic, so that way Krennic has he even buffs himself.
Yep, he does. Krennic now a 3/5 as he stands there. Death Trooper coming in, putting just a couple direct damage on Sabine that will allow Krennic to take her out.
Right. Yeah,
which has to be Andrew's next move.
I imagine. I would be very surprised if he doesn't.
Mark coming in with a surprise strike, going to get maximum value out of Sabine while he can.
So that's going to be 6 damage.
6 big damage to Andrew's base.
I would be amazed if he doesn't take out.
I would be shocked if he doesn't. I feel like I won't say I feel like he has to. I feel like it's the right play.
Yeah, of course,
100%.
And then of course he's going to restore 2 off of Krennic swinging.
Krennic clings out Sabine, goes down to only 3 health remaining, but does get a restore 2 out of it. Another fleet lieutenant coming in, taking out the patrol craft.
Yeah. Seems good.
Andrew going to claim. Apparently he claimed that earlier and I missed it, so my apologies. Chad asking if this is a best of 1. No, this is still a best of 3. There is no longer a timer on the round. We play the best of 3 matchup until someone wins.
Overwhelming garage there to clear the board.
Cleans them both out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Does it? Oh yeah, one of those guys was damaged.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. That'll do it.
He gets that +1, so he's up to 5. That's enough to clear the board out.
Why have I not been marking the damage on Mark's base? I am bad at this. There we go.
So swinging in there for 3, and then also restoring for 2. 5 damage swing. Puts 10 damage on both players' base. Another surprise strike off the Millennium Falcon.
Woof. That's 6 damage.
6 damage. So far, though, Andrew able to mitigate a bit of that with Krennic's restore.
Krennic being on the board is helping.
Yeah. And I see Andrew there has a Vigilance in his hand. No doubt that's going to be his first play to...
Feels like he's up to 8 resources? 7 resources.
7.
Would cost him, what, just 6 for that?
Just 6 for that, yeah.
Would be his whole turn, but it's probably not a bad
yeah,
play.
Healing 5 at this point, I think, is
Mark
to kind of put you out of the threat of yet another surprise strike or a 4 cause or some K2 shenanigan.
Mark thinking about the Falcon, trying to decide if he wants to
if
keep
he
it or
needs
keep
to
bringing
keep
it
in play.
back to his hand.
So
Gonna
he
leave it on
does.
the board.
He does pay the tax.
Nope, he's going to go ahead and we're going to vanquish the Falcon.
Okay. Andrew feeling comfortable at 8 remaining.
I'm not sure I would feel that comfortable.
Yeah.
Although he does have Krennic still.
He does have Krennic, so he knows he's going to go up to 10.
He knows he's going to probably he's going to at least get 2 back.
Yeah.
Mark bringing a K2 onto the board. Am I crazy to feel like you have to go all in on Mark's base this round? No, he's going to put 3 into K2.
He's going to want to take out K2. Really,
okay.
Really
Sabine's going to come in with her shenanigans for 1 each.
Ping. He's going to go ahead and take out K2.
I'm surprised to see that.
So am I. So he'll restore 2.
And lose 1. Yeah. So he ends up the net gain. The net there is the loss of 1, but it clears the entire board. Mark grabs the initiative.
At 6, though, you're still with a clean board. At 6, you're feeling kind of comfortable.
Well, he is still sitting on that vigilance in his hand too.
Yeah, that as well.
We know that.
Right.
Mark doesn't, but yeah.
Another K2 SO. Electing to drop a short trooper.
I think he's just trying to keep a little bit of board presence, and at this point,
and
if he can grab the initiative,
remove it. He couldn't remove K2 with vigilance. Vigilance is 3 or less. So maybe just keeping the tempo.
He still has the resources to play the vigilance, if I'm counting correctly.
Believe you're correct. Yes, you are.
Yep.
So yes, he'll go ahead and remove the A-wing with it.
It's going to remove the A-wing and heal 5.
Yeah. Patiently waiting to play the vigilance is paid off for him. To get the better value.
Yeah.
Like
he definitely got more value out of it.
Otherwise, he mills 6, and that's just not that strong into the aggro
what?
player.
I was going to say, I don't think Sabine Yellow gives a crap if you mill 6.
No, she doesn't. So honestly, if let's say Mark doesn't play the A-wing, he probably just gives the short trooper a shield. That's the next best thing that you can do on that card.
Yeah, it would still feel kind of crappy.
Yeah, it would. But getting a kill an A-wing definitely feels nice. Ooh, Mark, I think, has heroic sacrifice in his hand.
He does.
So that's
6 to base plus 3 more. That's 9 all in.
And then he draws a card.
Can't be helped. Down to 2 HP is Andrew here.
Yeah.
Gonna swing in for 4. A single for the cause would probably end this.
I wasn't able to see if he had a for a cause.
No, Mark's playing with his hand far enough back. We can't really get a sense of what's in it. I probably need to make a small camera adjustment too. It's swinging around a lot.
Yeah, it is.
It wasn't doing that earlier in the day. Rogue operative. Okay.
Down. I imagine we see Andrew claim here. Oh, no. Gonna go ahead and... Avenger.
Coming in with the Avenger. Nice pull. The only one in the deck. Only one in the base deck.
Yeah, right.
Sabine.
Ping. Makes sense.
Down to 1 HP. Andrew's got to come up with some healing or he'll die.
He's got a claim here. He has to.
Yeah, he basically, yeah.
Ezra. And yes, he has to come up with some healing here. Otherwise, that is the game.
He can just hang it up.
I think he has a vigilance in his hand.
He might. Let's have a peek here.
Yeah, he has a vigilance.
I see a Vader. He does it. Yep, I see
vigilance.
It. Yep. Pretty much has to be his first action, I think. And he will allow him to get rid of Ezra, too.
Perfect.
So he's getting some good value out of it. Wrong button.
Oh, he's electing to give the shield.
Okay. But he did heal the 5, yes?
Correct.
Okay.
You know what? I think I like that play. Fleet Lieutenant.
Just puts it all right back, basically.
Swing in for 5.
Literally puts it right back. And then Sabine. So Andrew's back to having only 1 HP.
And he doesn't have any more healing, so that's
Doesn't
just
look like he does.
That's just a Sabine ping to close it out. Game 1.
Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got nothing.
Yep, done. Whew. Mark picks up game 1 here.
So maybe he... Oh, no, he can't. Ezra has 4 health, doesn't he?
Ezra has 4 HP.
So, yeah, Vigilance couldn't take him out.
Ah, that would be it then. There we go.
I don't know why I was thinking.
All right.
Really good game 1. It was definitely back and forth and a very close game at the end of the day, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think Andrew was at the point of almost stabilizing.
I think he just about had it figured out.
I
think Mark came up with the right cards at the right time.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna go mess with the camera for just a second.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Both opponents here taking the time to sideboard some cards in and out of their decks. Quite a few, actually. I want to say I saw Andrew do about 5 or 6, and it looks like Mark is electing 4.
There we go.
Perfect.
Now chat's in here talking about kind of the evolution of the I'm running the whole thing off my Stream Deck, right?
Yeah, right.
And it took the better part of about 2.5 weeks to figure out how to do all of that.
Right.
I was afraid I was going to have to teach myself Python. I was reading, like, there were things that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, so I want to be able to push the button on the Stream Deck and have this happen.
Yeah.
And when I was doing Google searches, they were like, oh, you can teach yourself Python. I'm like, but what if I don't want to learn Python?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, are you kidding me? And so that was more than a little irritating. I don't know why that is up. We'll get rid of it. I managed to find a way to kind of kludge it together.
Yeah.
The trick is that I had to spend literally hours programming the Stream Deck.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
And I don't know. Somebody in the chat was like, "You should sell this setup to other casters," and I'm kind of going, "I don't know if that's possible."
Right.
I don't know that you can export a Stream Deck setup profile.
I have no idea.
I have no idea either. Yeah. Right? I'm just like, oh, I don't know. Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. I have no idea. So. But I'm liking how it looks.
It looks great.
I'm enjoying that. I feel like I'm able to convey the information that I want to convey. I'm going to make a few changes for next time, but I'm in general, I'm liking it.
Yeah, no, it looks great.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Ginger. I'm just not sure if you can, right? Like I was actually even trying to figure out if I could program my Stream Deck upstairs on my main PC and then transfer that programming downstairs to my caster PC, or the one in the studio, and I have not figured out how to do that yet, so I don't know. All right. Both players looking like they're finished up their sideboards here. Andrew starts on the button with initiative.
While you were out fixing the camera, I was commenting on both of them sideboarding quite a few cards.
I'm not surprised. We looked at the sideboards.
Yeah, the sideboards definitely looked.
We looked at the sideboards, and there was stuff that if I knew what I know now, I would immediately done before game 1. We don't get that option, of course. Game rules don't allow you to sideboard before a match.
Correct.
Yeah, the camera thing was easy to fix. It was touching like the
table.
One of the support rods was bumped up against the table, and so I just pulled it back. And then now when they bump the table, it doesn't bump the camera.
I blame Trey.
Sure, we'll blame Trey. He'll appreciate that.
Yeah.
Andrew opting for the mulligan. Mark seems to be satisfied with his hand. What can we see now? I see a wing leader.
Yeah, I see a wing leader. I see
a fleet lieutenant. He's going to resource the fleet lieutenant.
It though, because I think he'd rather have the buff. I think I see a Lair.
I saw a Lair or a Sabine. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Armored, there's a story as to why that is, and I'll tell you later. Don't ask today. The camera is not perfectly square, and unfortunately, it can't be. And again, I don't want to get into it right now because I'll just get angry again. All right, game 2 begins. Mark coming in with a Leia.
Makes sense. Andrew looks like he did not have a turn 1 play.
Andrew, no turn 1 play. Everybody gets pinged by Sabine, and on we go to the next turn.
think we're going to see an ECL Super Laser.
I think you are 100% going to see that.
Which is rare because it normally doesn't kill anything.
True, but in this
those,
case, it's going to allow him to. No, he's not going to ECL. Okay, he's going to save the ECL. Okay,
I think that's fair too.
No, I mean, I could honestly have seen either play.
Yeah.
I really liked the Death Trooper play last game with the ECL.
Yeah,
that was very good.
That was nice.
Leia and Sabine.
Ooh, and the Falcon coming out from Mark.
And the Falcon already?
Another 3 damage.
Oh my goodness.
Just really pushing out 6 early damage like that.
It's just crazy how quick that the Sabine yellow deck can just slam it out. I'm off a little bit. There we go. It's funny, I was watching some tournament coverage on YouTube, and I saw this Sabine green deck that I absolutely loved. And now that I'm watching this, I'm like, dear God, I think I went the wrong direction.
To me, a buddy of mine that lives out of town, but who's also playing this game. He comes from a Yu-Gi-Oh background. He was kind of just trying to get more insight on the game, and I was kind of explaining to him like the Sabine green deck to me is very solitaire. The yellow one, it interacts with the opponent quite a bit more, in my opinion, and just has more kind of finessey plays to do.
I will not pretend I can keep up with everything that just occurred. However, I will point out that Sabine still has not deployed this game.
Correct.
I find that to be an interesting choice. There she comes.
There she goes. I'm almost wondering. No, he didn't forget because this is the.
Here we go. Now he's going to bring. Now he's got the Steadfast. He does.
Yeah. Love to see it.
Steadfast Battalion swings in and just one-shot Sabine right off the board, punches a couple extra damage.
And that's like the
major
the base selling point of ECO, I think, is that card in particular.
100%.
Just dealing with almost every leader in the game.
Yeah. There's very few leaders in the game you can't punch out of one. But the trick is, of course, your leader has to be on the board.
Right.
But these leaders that deploy on turn on 4 or 5 resources.
Krennic comes out on what, 5?
5.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get him on the board for that sort of thing.
And I think he's got like a really fair amount of stats for 5.
He really does. I mean, especially when you smash Sabine, you only take 2 back. Yeah. I mean, that's a big card to keep on the board right now. You have to love it. Steadfast Battalion swinging in for
taking out the
7. Going to take out the Rogue Operative. Oh, he's going to buff Krennic. Interesting. There should only have been 1 overflow sneaking onto Mark's base. So Krennic a 4/9 at the moment.
Spark of
Rebellion.
Definitely one of those vigilances coming out of there.
Yeah, I think he'd be silly not to do that.
Crazy that he had 2 of them in his
3 in the deck,
I'm
maybe.
sure Mark did not like to see that.
Nope. It always feels good when you can spend 2 resources and get a card that powerful out of your opponent's hand.
Yeah.
He's really waiting. You can tell he's kind of Andrew's thinking, like, do I swing with Krennic now? Do I go to the base just to get some restore? Do I wait for a unit? How do I play this?
Because the more stuff you can remove, the better. And I know he has a removal option in Vigilance, but if you can, with Krennic being buffed up at this point, that's another removal tool.
Yeah. Well, he's also sitting on the power of the dark side, too.
That's true.
So he's got a little bit of removal. He's also got a cell block guard. So it's kind of a question of what does he want out of this turn? He's going to go for the vigilance. He's just going to go ahead and get the health lead back.
And then probably give the shield,
He's going to give the shield to the Steadfast.
Which is huge.
That's a solid play.
3 damage coming in from the Falcon.
Now Krennic's going to swing in for the Restore 2.
4 and Restore 2.
So Andrew, for the first time this match, having an actual health lead as Mark grabs the initiative.
Mark paying 1 for the Falcon.
Yep, going to leave the Falcon on the board. He's been getting good value out of it. Like, I don't know why you'd bring it back now.
No. If it's not damaged and you're not trying to do something silly, just leave it out there.
Yep. Early game for Mark here, definitely going much better than game 1. Falcon swinging in.
Krennic going to go ahead and heal.
Krennic with a light, little bit of love tap, but a little restore. For a cause. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ooh. And he hits the other 2 4 causes.
Are both in the top 4 cards of his deck.
He's definitely going to discard the other 2 cards and leave those 2 4 causes on the top, which is really scary for Andrew to see that.
You definitely want some hand destruction now.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about being able to play Cunning, is being able to make them discard cards.
Mm-hmm. I did really like hand destruction.
Steadfast going to swing in for 7.
Yeah, buff itself up, hit for 7. Hand destruction was one of my favorite mechanics in Destiny. Even in like the early days, I was trying to make like Dooku and Jabba the Hutt work to just blow up people's hands.
You know, I think you called it earlier, Matt. I really like this style of Krennic. This is not a hard control deck.
No, it's not.
It's got some light control elements to it, but it's much more mid-rangey. And I prefer that kind of play,
right?
Because it gives you more options.
And that's what I would have if this deck in the beginning had existed kind of in this form. This is probably what I would have gravitated towards more. But it was only kind of later where it was kind of tweaked and changed out of the hard control mindset. I
feel like I miscounted on the Steadfast, and yet somehow I have it correct, because I'm showing 21 damage on Mark, and so is he.
Yeah.
Because the Steadfast is damaged. He should get a +1.
Ooh, yeah, you're correct.
Inferno 4 coming out.
I love that artwork. That blue and red background.
There is so much
really
good artwork in this game. We're going to vanquish the Falcon here. Tired of seeing that thing's ugly mug, apparently. Can't say I blame him. I don't know that Mark has a path back in right here.
No, he has those 2 4 causes, but it's just not even enough.
It's not going to be enough.
Which is wild to say.
The Vigilance Parade here has...
Yeah.
Well, he's only gotten 1 off, but I mean, he's gotten a lot of good healing out of Krennic.
He's gotten a lot of good healing out of Krennic. I think 6 at this point.
Mark unable to get Krennic off the board, really hurting him.
So he's healed already for a massive like 11.
It's like 12. 11 or 12.
Yeah.
And Sabine hates that.
Correct. So, I mean, Mark doesn't really seem to have anything else. So he's going to go ahead and do the 4 cause.
He's going to get the 4 damage out of it.
4 damage. But I mean, Andrew has lethal here on the board.
Oh, easily. It's going to take him a few actions.
Takes him 2 actions.
I mean, it's going to take him a few actions to do it. The Steadfast will swing in for, could swing 7. In for 8 if he wants it.
Correct, yeah.
Give the +2 to itself. They're miscounting. They're forgetting Krennic right here.
Krennic.
But
go ahead and
but now they're done. Yeah. Yep. All over but the crying here. Andrew claiming game 2, which as a caster, we always want to go to game 3.
That was an interesting game. And things not really sticking for Mark, and then also not seeing, something like K2 that even if it doesn't stick, you don't care as much.
The thing that I like, the more that I play them, the thing that I like most about those big double aspect event cards, right? Cunning and command and all the rest, they give you options.
Yeah.
They're so flexible. And whenever you have one of those in your hand, you have some important decisions to make. But the fact that you have those options makes those insanely powerful cards.
Right.
Every other card in the game is pay X, pay X to receive Y, basically.
Right.
Right. But those cards are pay X and choose your adventure.
Yep.
And that choice frequently, as we've seen, is critical. You could have the right card, but choose the wrong thing for the moment you're in the game, and that could be the difference.
Right. And I think like the Vigilance is the one where it's most common to always choose the same two, get played like 90% of the time.
Wipe out something and then
wipe out something and heal 5.
Yeah. The decks that it finds itself in, that's what it gravitates
That's
towards.
what it gravitates towards. But the fact that they are designed in that versatile way, maybe there's decks in the future that really do care about shields more and more and more. Payoff for shields. We're kind of seeing a little bit of that. There's a couple of cards that have payoffs for shields in the
like Rose.
Is she the one that gives them, or is she the one
you can spend shield tokens to hand out experience?
Right. So we're seeing, some more design space opened up. Maybe the shield, the shield option on the card becomes more enticing for other decks.
Yeah.
Also, I just have to comment on it because I just think it's so brilliant. Designing those double aspect cards to be self-titled.
Oh yeah.
Of what the aspects
I love
are
that.
is just brilliant.
I love that.
I think it was Trey. Trey didn't realize that's
until like last week.
Until like last week.
Yeah, like a week or two ago. Yeah, I know. I caught that on like the instant I saw it. I was like, that's really clever.
Very clever.
That's really clever.
To get people to actually learn their names instead of just calling them
blue and green.
Right.
Yep.
And yeah, he's like, it just clicked me last week. I was just like,
I remember having that conversation with Trey. I got tickled. Once again, Mark happy with his hand. It's hard. It's when you play a deck like Sabine that is full of so many things that cost 2 and 3. It's almost, I won't say it's impossible to draw a bad hand. It's almost impossible to draw a bad hand.
And so
it's draw good.
From what I saw there with Mark too, Mark elected to
I pushed the wrong card on Mark.
Oh yeah, that was Sabine.
That was Sabine. I don't know what I was doing there.
Mark elected, if I saw correctly, he resourced like a wing leader, and I don't know what the other one was, but resourcing the wing leader is interesting because he's the reason I want to comment on it is because he's choosing to, and he kept like an A wing and a Sabine because he's choosing to just put more things on the board instead of buffing up something. More threats. It
maybe felt like last game he didn't. It maybe felt like he's struggling to draw units.
Yeah, I think he might have. So I think here we're going to see him drop another threatening unit. Oh, yeah, an Ezra. Something that's a little bit more difficult to remove.
A little beefier.
Right. Power of the Dark Side coming out, though.
Yep.
I imagine he's going to get rid of Sabine. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the easiest to replace.
Yeah. Plus, Ezra has that fun on-attack ability.
Ezra's ability, I think, is very underrated.
I think so, too. I think it's fun to play with essentially another card in your hand. I think that's
especially if you swing in with him at the start of the turn, you could.
And I think it lets you throw it on the bottom too if you don't like.
No,
or discard
you either play it or discard it.
Play it or discard it. Okay. Or can't you just leave it there?
Well, here, I'll pull him up and you can tell me.
Yeah, I think it's 3 options.
Play it, discard it, or leave it.
Yeah,
there you go. Play it, discard it, or leave it.
Very strong.
I've seen that turn into a medal ceremony that somebody didn't know they were going to have and get free, like just experience tokens out of it. Like,
correct.
It's a really neat effect that I think doesn't get utilized as much. Wing leader going to turn Ezra into a little bit of a monster here.
Yeah.
A couple experience tokens coming down on him.
Was he a 5/6 at this point? Or is he 2/4? I can't remember.
No, he's 3/4.
3/4.
You're right. He's 5/6.
Yeah.
In front of 4, going to knock out the wing leader. Ezra going to swing in, it looks like.
And he's going to take a look at that card. Choose to discard it.
Ooh, that's a tough choice.
Yeah, that is a tough choice.
I don't know that I would have discarded a rogue operative.
I mean, maybe he has more units in his hand and he's looking for those tech cards.
Mark using Sabine there to ping each base for 1. One of the things that I've noticed, the more I watch Sabine players, they're very cognizant of the state of the game, like when they should and shouldn't be doing that. Like in a position like here where he's basically like 10 health ahead. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Right. And I've talked to Mark about that. Because like in the beginning, buffing up Ezra even more.
What did he come in with? I missed it.
Another wing leader.
Oh my goodness.
Buffing up Ezra even more.
Wing leader in Krennic, and then Krennic comes onto the board, and so now it's
Yes.
Mark's play.
And he's going
He's
to go
just
ahead
going to
and
absolutely annihilate Krennic in one hit.
I like that play.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. We're going to look at that top card, leave it on the top. And going back to the Sabine ping, I've talked with. There's the devotion.
There's
we were
the
talking
devotion
about before we started this set.
TIE Fighter a little beefier coming in now. He's got a little restore on him. Sabine going to ping.
Which losing Krennic, he's going to want.
He's going to need all the help he can get.
Yeah. Talking about the Sabine ping, though, I've talked with Mark about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he understands it way better than I do because I'm not a Sabine player. But it's not even really it's a combination of a lot of things. It's not just a damage threshold. It's also a board state thing. It's also a tempo thing, of course. And I think when I remember talking to him about it, I think kind of the conclusion, what I got out of that conversation the most was the most important thing is the tempo aspect of it.
I already inadvertently had the health correct. So Andrew burned his ECL for the Consortium Viper, who doesn't have restore. That's why I was thinking he had restore, but he didn't, because he doesn't have initiative.
Right.
So this Viper swings in, knocks out the wing leader. Sabine comes onto the board. Wait a minute. Now they've taken the damage off. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm a little confused there.
I am too. He deployed Sabine and didn't attack with her?
To retain the initiative to stop the Star Viper.
He claimed to make sure he wouldn't get any more restore off of it.
Yeah, that's 4. He has nothing in the space arena to deal with those things.
Yeah.
That's 4 restores a lot.
Yeah. Somehow I am way off
between devotion and the Star Viper. That would have been a lot of restores.
I think maybe he played the devotion and swung in with the TIE Fighter, and I didn't get that one correctly. That's probably how I mislogged it that way. Huh? It's a restore 2.
No, but
it's a +1, correct?
Right.
But it's a restore 2.
Right.
Yeah, I think I missed that one.
Gotcha.
Anyways, that is a big hit. Or 7 out of Ezra.
Falcon coming down.
Wait a minute. Why did he just take... He swung and played a Falcon?
I
think
he played the Falcon off of Ezra's ability.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I see it now.
So then going to trade with the Star Viper because he has the +1 buff from Krennic.
Because of Krennic. Yep. You know you're going to take at least 3 more out of Sabine.
Mm-hmm. And Mark still has 3 resources.
All of those experience tokens on Ezra is absolutely just crushing him. Okay, we're going to play an overwhelming.
So
3, 4, 5. So that's enough. Yep, that's enough to polish off Ezra, who was a 6/7 with 2 damage on him. And now Inferno for the turn is a 5/6 with a couple of damage points.
He just has to kill the A-Wing.
He's got to just wipe out the A-Wing and restore 2.
Yep. He's got another devotion there, and Mark still has nothing in the space arena.
Yeah, I don't think you want to double up, though.
I don't know.
Would that matter? Would it be like restore 4?
Yeah, it will be restore 4.
They just get cumulative, right?
Correct.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it works. And I think for temporary
Boy, that would put a giant target on that guy's back.
I don't remember seeing any waylays in Mark's list.
No, I don't. There were none.
Even in the sideboard, I don't think there is.
I don't remember seeing it either.
Surprise strike.
Do have some of those, though.
For
6 to base. 6 to base. Sabine swinging in. So now you're definitely in for a cause range. I feel like you have to. Yep. I feel like you have to do that to get the restore out of it.
Yeah.
Should be 4 damage out of the tie because it's damaged.
Gunship.
Yep. Gunship's going to ambush him out.
Take it out. Oh, it'll be a trade because of the.
Oh yeah, because of all the buffs.
on
yep.
it. Yeah.
But he gets the restore off the board, which he desperately needs.
Yeah. Vader coming in.
Got to hope for that cell block guard, presumably. He's at least going to get Sabine off the board here, too.
Sure.
Vader will wipe her out. Yeah, he's got a Death Trooper in there. And a Super Laser Tech, but I think that's what he was after. There we go.
Take Sabine out. Take 2 damage on Vader. I feel like you get... I love the extra value you get out of Vader in this deck.
Oh,
with the
100%.
Buff going, because 5's kind of awkward.
Mm-hmm.
6, you're killing a lot of more things with 6.
Well, again, I look forward to, and I said this earlier with the stream. Of course, I'm that Vader with Gideon is going to be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew really, you have to believe. I guess he's just trying to dig for the. He played 1 Vigilance and lost another one to a Spark. Or was that last game?
So I think no, that might have been last.
Might have been last game. I don't remember anymore. They kind of blur together after a while.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, his hand. He has a reinforcement walker. Andrew does.
Well, he desperately is going to need that.
Yeah. And Mark's got a cleared board. But we haven't seen a 4 cause or a K2SO.
We haven't seen either one of those cards yet. It feels like a K2 right here would be almost catastrophic.
See a Sabine ping. So maybe he has the 4 cause. So we're going to see the Walker drop. And he's going to just mill the card. Ooh, it was a Vader.
Ouch.
But I think he has to. He can't risk being at 4 HP. So he's going to heal 3 there.
Oh, what did he play there?
The Reinforcement Walker.
Ah, okay. I missed it. So he heals 3?
Yeah, and see, he would have died.
Yep. And there comes the 4 cause.
As long as Mark hits it, and yeah, he would have been dead.
Yep. So that would have been the game.
He couldn't have risked.
So he still goes down 4.
Yeah. So he's at 3.
Still holding on at 3. Mark deciding what to do with the cards that, for a cause I believe in, has revealed for him. I think you keep the Falcon.
Yeah, I think the other you can.
I think you could probably ditch the rest. Maybe the Fleet Lieutenant.
I don't know. Even Leia. Remember, Leia can exhaust something too.
Oh, Leia exhausts units. Yeah. I think you ditch Sabine and maybe leave the rest.
He has the I think Fleet and Sabine get discarded, and he keeps the Falcon and Leia. But I could also he's
going to leave the Falcon and ditch the rest. Okay, I could see it.
I see that too.
I could see it. 5 to base. Vader swings in.
6.
6. Thank you, because of Krennic. Tight game. Andrew hanging on, fighting his way back in with a big ground presence. But he's got to get through this turn.
Mark has 4 resources left.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
Looks like he took initiative.
Yep. We go to the next round.
Mark's going to retain the initiative and hope he draws into something that lets him finish this game.
Yeah.
I think if he doesn't,
4 cause will do it.
I feel like if he doesn't draw to a For the Cause or something like that, I'm not sure.
I mean, the Falcon does it, but is the Falcon too? No, the Falcon's not too slow. But Andrew definitely is going to have.
You'll at least have an opportunity to respond with something.
He's got to have something to respond to.
Yeah. I mean, if he draws it to 4 cause, then we know. You're right. We know the one is the Falcon.
Ooh, we see a change of heart.
Change of heart.
Wild.
First one of those we've seen today. Grabbing control of the reinforcement walker for the round.
That's big. That is big for Mark.
Devotion on Vader. And
then we're going to see Wolf.
Wolf, no healing this. Look at All these
just
meta
enemies,
cards
or is
coming
it...
out. I'm loving it. All of the
What a
sideboard
game.
action. So nobody can heal. Neither player can heal their base this round. No bases can be healed. What happened? Oh, he swung in with Vader.
Correct.
7 this time.
Correct.
Yes.
7.
Man, 4-3.
Wow.
Down to the wire here. I'm loving this.
Yeah, this is great. Marcus tapped out.
Yeah.
Andrew still has 6.
He's going to go ahead and smash the cell block card.
And he's going to... I mean, he has to just draw this card.
Well, he could
discard it.
He can discard it, but he can't get anything out of it.
He can't get any healing out of it.
At least it cleans it off his top.
That's true.
That's all it does. It
Another
cleans it off
copy
top
of
of his
Wolf,
deck.
so he definitely didn't want that.
Yep. Now he's going to have to give the Walker back up at the end of the round.
Right.
The Walker does have 3 damage on it. They haven't marked
Andrew
that
yet. Claims here, and that's it.
I think that's the smart play.
And that's it.
Because when the Walker comes back, he can't stop it.
Yeah, he can't stop.
Yep.
Wow, what a game!
Wow, there you go. Goodness gracious. Krennic holds on to win.
Yeah.
After game 1, I don't know that I would have called that result.
Yeah. Again, it's not an aggro deck.
No.
Or sorry, it's not a control deck.
You were right. Calling it more mid-rangey, I suppose. You're 100% right. Love it.